Hey, this is Kevin Carr, CEO of Pro to CEO. Today, this video is how Millennials and Generation Zs can reverse mentor. That's right, that's a tricky word I'm going to teach you all about. How you can reverse mentor to climb your way to the top. This is for my corporate climbers, my people on the grind who want to come up, up, and be something and be about something. I'm here to help you with that so you're very clear in order to do that. So, hey, have you been a mentee to somebody and they poured into you and then you start getting that feeling like, man, how can I help them? Well, this video is for you. A lot of times I've poured into my mentees, and early on I learned very early that when people were pouring into me, I had to give to them. I had this older gentleman who was a sports administrator, amazing guy, Dr. Gary Sales. He decided to be a mentor for me. I was his mentee, and we had a great relationship for years. He would allow me to call him. He would allow me to ask him all kinds of questions. He actually took me under his wing, and he had all kinds of connections and resources that I couldn't only begin because I was a young dude coming out of college with a master's, but I didn't know what I didn't know. And a friend put me on, recommended me to him, and then he enjoyed the work that I did so much that he says, hey man, I want to have a relationship with you and help you come up in the industry. And he was so on point with that I couldn't see that I actually needed a mentor. He actually gifted me so much that it enriched my life. It allowed me to understand business culture quicker, faster than I could have been by myself. It allowed me to have, before I made a big decision at work, sometimes I would call him and ask him for interest, what his thoughts were, what his interests were around this, what should I be looking for. I would ask him when it was time for me to possibly switch a job. He was there for me. He would turn me on to different articles and information, things that were happening nationally, internationally, that because he was much more mature in the business than I was, he had a perspective that I had no knowledge of at the time. And every time I found that I would meet him, he would be right. He would be able to sort of help me with predicting stuff better and having better timing and how to deal with a difficult conversation at work. So this mentor relationship was so vital that it helped advance my career as almost by light years. So as a mentee, I was respectful of his time, meaning I would call him, make sure he had the availability, and then we would negotiate when we would meet, and then I would ask him and be ready. This is a tip here. When you're in that mentor-mentee relationship like we were, I was really very on point with everything I needed to do to make sure that he didn't feel I was wasting his time. I would report back to him, make sure the meetings happen. I really drove a lot of, how and why we were meeting and what the occasion for. So as we were going through all of this, I said to myself, I start feeling a little guilt, like, hey, this guy is really sewing into me, and this guy is giving me a whole lot. What can I offer him? What can I do? And he said something to me that really helped me, and this is where it's gonna help you. He said, one day you're gonna be in a position where you're gonna help me. One day you're gonna be in a position to help somebody else. I don't know if it's me or someone else, but when you get a chance to help somebody who's older than you, offer yourself up in a volunteer type of role. And I'm telling you, that is the tip for you. As a younger mentee, your opportunity to help an older person is you reverse the mentor-mentee relationship and you reverse mentor them. A lot of older people right now aren't as comfortable with all this technology coming to them. As if you're a Generation Z, you can almost notice it in your parents, your aunts and uncles, your close circle, people who you've seen around. They're not on these platforms and social media mediums as much as this generation that we're currently in. So a lot of them aren't on there is because they don't have familiarity and comfort with it. So one of the best things you can do is help them get up to speed by offering to reverse mentor them in social media and allow them to learn from you by you introducing the thought to them and saying, hey, is there something I can do from potentially a tech standpoint that can help you get on one of these social media platforms? Or maybe we could spend some time and I can tell you what I think about these social media platforms to help you get better with your comfort level, your understanding level, and perhaps even get on one of these mediums so you know what's going on. How about that? Like, that literally is a tip there that you can offer yourself up to help them if you notice that they're a little reluctant or there's a little uncomfortness in that, to where you could do that. And let me give you a great example. Right now, the age of coming into NFTs and blockchain and Bitcoin and Ethereum and MetaMask and all these things are happening literally before us, calling it the Cryptocraze, right? But the reality is, it is here and it's here to stay. For a lot of older people, and this is a tip, they don't really understand it. And I'm putting myself in that as well, because I got a little gray going on here. It's a little seasoning, I would say, right? So when you're in this space and you're a lot older and you see these things newer happening and young people are picking it up, there's a sense in your mind like, hey man, that's for them, it may not be for me. But for those who are early adopters like I am, I jump right in because I understand trends, I understand how industry shifts and changes, and if you're not really aware of those, you get left behind. And I'm one that understands this, that you need to adopt sometimes to change or be forced to. There is a place for traditions, there is a place for things that really are consistent around tradition, but there's also we know that if you don't adapt and transition, you're going to be left behind. So I know that, and a lot of older people may not have that, but what I want you to know, in a reverse mentor-mentee situation, you become the mentor and you bring them up to speed, and then you add value to them because now you have really tackled an area where you have comfort with them in that mentor-mentee relationship. And now you can go to them and say, hey, I want to offer this up to you, have some comfort level. So I'm gonna go back to my story. So I literally have this gentleman who's interning and is interested in working with us and doing all kinds of things. And then he says to me, do you have a comfort level around NFTs, crypto, blockchain? And I said, I could stand to learn a lot more, and I really can. And he just said, how about I mentor you in this space? That was huge, because I had been in my brain as the mentor saying, man, you know, this guy knows so much, but he's in this internship for this. Now he can literally, you know, he's offering to mentor me like I've been giving him. It was just an epiphany. So I'm saying to you, as a young person who's really been out here, you know, having a mentor relationship, but if you don't have one, you certainly, if you decide to, one day there may be that time where you can offer up something to help somebody else. And it is becoming that skill and that opportunity to come up in an industry with the skill of knowing something that someone else who may be a little bit older and superior to you, you offering them something. So the skill to reverse mentor is huge, huge, huge for you millennials and Generation Zs, all right? Use that, and that creates that sort of the opportunity for you to show value and to show skill and to show leadership to an older person who was sowing into you. Now you get to sow into them, and that's a huge win-win. Now this young man, for me, I see him even more valuable. I already did, but it's just really enhanced that. And he came back and spent a whole hour or two walking me through all the blockchain, all the Bitcoin, all the crypto, any little things that I didn't know. It was a breakthrough in our relationship to the point where he now has the ability, as much as I do, to guide and to coach and to advise and even hold me accountable for, hey, last time we talked, what do you remember? That's huge. So I'm saying to you, there are times when you can be a powerful force as a young person to help someone older by reverse mentoring. And it just doesn't have to be in technology. It can be in an industry where you're good, where you can lend some of your skill set and your time back to them and bring them up. So that is the tip, that you using your ability in the reverse mentoring relationship to help your mentor. You now become the mentor, the reverse mentor, and they become the mentee. It is a huge opportunity, and it's one in which it can help you climb the corporate ladder for my corporate climbers. All right, that is it. That is the tip. You become a reverse mentor, and it can help you climb the corporate ladder and build value in your relationships with leaders who are looking for young leaders to help ignite and to create change in organizations. I'm Kevin Carr, CEO of ProtoCEO, where transition is our mission. There you have it. I'm available. Put something in the comments. Perhaps we can help answer any questions and then go from there. Take care. Be well. Until next time, check out the other videos I have if you're interested in climbing the ladder or crossing over in your career or becoming that entrepreneur that you would like to be one day. Take care. Be well.